Okay, you guys, I just wanted to jump on here before I get my day going, before I start work. I'm not going to be on the clock very long today, you guys. It's just been a very emotional, um, stressful week. I've been dealing with some delays with one of the payroll companies that I deal with. But I just wanted to get on here. Let me put my disclaimer up here. I just wanted to get on here because it's not my disclaimer. You guys are reading the title correctly. That I contacted three men, three men, you guys, just to see if they could be able to pay my rent. Just to see, not to say that I need my rent paid, but I just wanted to see what these three men could do. And upon doing this little experiment, none of the men could pay my bills. Nope. Not neither one of them could pay my bills. They had excuses about not having the money. They um, legitimately proved that you men can't be out here dating women if you're broke. Um, you can't take care of a woman. You don't need to be out here dating. You can't take care of yourself. You don't need to be out here dating. If a woman has to get out here and pay all of her bills by herself, men, we don't need you. If you are a man and you're sitting back watching a woman struggle to pay the bills while you're laying up in there, you need to pack your shit and you need to move back in with your mama. If women have out here and pay their own bills, man, we don't need you. We definitely don't need you. I am so tired of you men getting up on the big internet here talking about you're a provider until it's time for you to be a provider. Until it's time for you to be a provider, you fail when it comes to being a provider. And this is why I tell women to make their own money. I tell women to stop relying on you men. I tell women to stop asking you men for money. I tell women to go back to school because if I were to sit here and tell women to rely on you to be a provider, they would be out on the streets. They would be out on the streets. They would be homeless. They would be fending for food. They would be looking for clothing. And you men are so concerned about the birth rates. Do you know that it costs over $100,000 per year to raise a family and to have a child? And most of you can't take care of women. You can't take care of children. You're not going to take care of a child. And when I say take care of a child, I'm not talking about buying Pampers and milk and all this stuff here. I'm talking about where you legitimately go out of your way to help a woman with this child, taking the child back and forth to the doctor and the eye doctor and the dentist and so on and so on and so on, making sure the child has clothing, school supplies, school uniforms. Most of you men are not going to take care of a child like that or any children that you have with a woman. You're not going to be there to help that child in parenting. You're not going to do any of that. You men sit around and y'all talk about how y'all are providers, but you don't provide. And when you're asked to be a provider, you don't want to be a provider because you can't be that. And I'm not here to knock you men. I'm not. I'm not here to make you feel bad as a man. I'm just saying that women should stop relying on you men for anything. That's all I'm saying. And if a woman wants to legitimately make it in life, she needs to have her own money. She needs to be in her own home. And most of us don't need to have your kids. I will tell any woman, only have kids with a man because you want to have kids with a man. And you can afford raising a family by yourself. And before any of you men come towards me, I get income for all three of my kids. All of my kids have their own income. Plus, I work. And y'all sit down and y'all shun single women who have children. You shun single mothers. A lot of us are working 2 and 3 jobs and going back to school to make ends meet because we cannot rely on you men for shit. And before you come at me, my ex-husband is a provider. He is a provider. Even though we're divorced, he is still taking care of our children. He's still taking care of them. He's still providing for them. You men, yeah, like I said, ladies, stop relying on these men for anything. Just stop. Don't ask them for any money if they're not your husband. Just don't ask them for shit. I don't ask men for anything. Nothing. I just do what I got to do to make ends meet. And it's been that way 16 years. But I tried 3 men out just to see what they would do in a situation. If my rent needed to be paid or I needed to get food in the house, right? The first thing men will say is, where the baby daddy at? Where the ex-husband at? But you men are with women that you're supposed to love for and care for. Right? You're sleeping in this woman's house. You're eating up this woman's food. You're sleeping with her sexually, but you can't pay bills. You can't take care of a woman. And once again, I tell ladies, I tell women, stop asking men for money. If they're not your husband, don't ask them for nothing. I don't ask men for shit. I never did, you guys, but I have tried out 3 men just to see what they would do. And all 3 of them proved why it's better for women to have their own money. And don't ask them for anything. And yet these men get online about they want children, they want a wife, but they can't demonstrate that they are a provider. It's sad. How terrible you men are of today. You take a woman out on a date, you're looking for sex. You're talking to a woman on the phone, you're looking for sex. Men, I'm going to say this, and this may come off a little bit arrogant or rude. I'd rather sleep with my toys than sleep with you. Yep. Why is that, Akina? Because you men make everything transactional when you're supposed to be providing or helping someone. Why do I have to sleep with you to go out on a date? Why can't you just take me on a date and get to know me without trying to sleep with me? Why can't you keep your penis in your pants and keep your zipper zipped up? Why is it that you're ready to come into a woman's home where you know you can't pay bills? You can't take care of this woman. You can't provide. But you're laying up in her house. You're eating up her food. You're sleeping with her. It makes no sense what you men are. It's a disappointment. And like I said, ladies, have your own money. But then when I get on here and I advocate for women having their own money, men get on here and they say, oh, you're teaching women to hate men and be independent. Of course, because women cannot rely on you men for anything. You guys make everything transactional at the expense of I'm helping a woman. No, you're not. Keep your money, men. Keep your money. Use that money to go get some therapy and figure out a way how to treat women better than what you're doing. Because if you think women like me care about a male loneliness epidemic, I don't care. I don't care that you men don't have access to women. I don't care. I don't care that you're not getting laid. I also do not care that you're never going to get married or have children with women. And you can get on here screaming about repeal the 19th Amendment. At the end of the day, you're further proving to why women need to decenter you and stay single. And this is their way of hurting women when they lose control of women. They're ready to start threatening women like that. Oh, repeal the 19th Amendment. Make women suffer, take away their rights. And then this is why the 4B movement is here. Because you guys refuse to listen to women. You refuse to change your behavior. You refuse to treat women like human beings. You don't see us as human beings. You are pathetic. This isn't a male loneliness epidemic. This is a male consequence epidemic, where you men just refuse to do what you need to do to be better human beings. And if women want to get by in life, they got to do it without you men. Because the only time that I have success in my life is when I'm not dealing with the man. It's the only way that I can function is when I'm not attached to one of you on a romantic level. Because if I've been doing it on my own all this time here, why do I need you in my life? You got to be able to come into my life and prove how you could be a partner and someone who actually provides. Because it's literally in the Bible that you men are supposed to be providers. Why is this difficult for you guys to understand? You push the patriarchal system, you push religion on women, but yet you don't follow any of these things that you teach women or tell women that we should do. Mind-boggling. Are there men out here who take care of their wives and their families? Not a whole lot of them, but they're out there. So I'm not here to discredit that this is all men like this. But a good portion of these men are like this. So no, men, you don't get to get a wife. You don't get to get a family. You don't get to get sex from women. And yes, women should restrict sex from you. Women should restrict access from you. You don't get to have access to women. For the men who are trying to be better, because I know a man right now who's trying to go back to his old job and make money. I see you men for trying. I see you. I see you. There are men out here trying to be better. They're trying to do better and live better and be better. I give credit to those men. I see your potential. But for the rest of you men who just think that you are entitled to women because you are a man, no, you're not. You're not entitled to a woman because you are a man. You're not entitled to anything from a woman because you are a man. You have to perform for a woman and prove to a woman why you need to be in this woman's life. And so far, you men are not doing a good job. You lack when it comes to character. You lack when it comes to provision. You lack when it comes to protection and providing. And you lack when it comes to respect. Your character sucks. Your personality sucks. You suck. That's why women are not dealing with you men. Because you're a terrible person. You're a terrible person. You're not a nice person. And women are bailing out and running for the hills. And at this point, we're avoiding the majority of you because we know you're coming with problems. You're coming with red flags. And if you are a modern man, I'm definitely not dealing with you. I don't deal with modern men. I don't have anything against modern men. I just don't deal with modern men because you guys have a very flawed way of how you see women and date women. You hate modern women, but you're out here trying to live traditionally. It's crazy. Traditional men are not sitting up playing video games. They're not up here jacking off the corn. They're not on OnlyFans. No, a lot of you men are not traditional men. You don't qualify for a traditional relationship with a woman. You don't qualify. Just like there's women out here who don't qualify, you don't qualify. You don't qualify. I just don't know what part you men don't get. You don't qualify for women. You just don't. And women are just opting out. Ladies, make your own money, be your own boss babe, and leave a lot of these men alone. Because the way how they're moving out here is just weird. And they don't have women in their best interest because they don't even like women. They hate women. But tell it to them, they need access to women. So let me get off of here. But I tried out a few men just to see what they would do. They all failed. All of them failed. And I'm waiting on what the fourth guy is going to do. But they all failed. It's sad. Their expense of helping you ladies is you laying on your back, opening your legs to get your bills paid, to get food on the table. You men should just go hire an SW worker if it's going to be that way. Go hire an SW worker. And stop trying to use women for sex and to get your needs met. Just go hire a SW worker when you need to jack off to a woman. Because I told you, man, it costs to be the boss. It costs to be the boss. Every time you want access to a woman, there is a cost that comes with that. And if you can't afford these women you're meeting, stay out of their faces. Stay out of the dating field and go get with women who are on your tax bracket level. And stop trying to pursue women that you know you can't afford.